Welcome to the Women Inspire Aspire podcast. In this episode, I talk to Sarika Panchhi about natural health products. Hi, Sarika. Thank you for accepting my invite to appear in the podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi, Venkat. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Great, wonderful. So, could you please go ahead and tell a bit about yourself, your background, where do you live, etc.?
Sure. I'm currently based in Dehradun. I moved back to Dehradun about 9 years back from Mumbai, but this was more homecoming. So, moving from a big city to a small town when moving to small towns was not as fancy as it has become today. I am the founder and CEO of Jivisa Wellness. But prior to that, I've done various functions in the corporate roles and then, of course, as an entrepreneur.
So, tell us a bit about Jivisa. What does it do?
So Jivisa is a wellness organization. We are an all-women brand based out of Dehradun. The idea is to create a holistic wellness brand, and we are trying to merge nature to modern sciences through our products. We are extremely against anything toxic, so we do a lot of natural herbs and ingredients. But we are also very, very cognizant of the fact that modern sciences has a lot of goodness in it, so we do look at, what is it that is happening in that world and then try and merge the two. It's a startup. We are about 4.5 years old, but we've done fairly well during these 4 years, and it's been a fantastic journey. And we are hoping to now take the brand to the next level.
Wonderful. So, what kind of illnesses are you addressing?
Mostly lifestyle problems, Venkat. We've not realized that over years, our lifestyle has become so stressful that a whole lot of illnesses are really coming out of, how we live, how we think, the food we eat, and, the conversations we have. So a lot of stress and anxiety. For example, we also worked on PCOD for women. A lot of hair fall and skin acne, and all of that is coming out of our lifestyle stress issues. So we are looking at that closely and bringing out products to address that.
Okay, it sounds a lot like it's dependent on Ayurveda.
We are inspired by Ayurveda. Some of our products are, in fact, Ayush certified also. But we do look at the larger natural ecosystem because Ayurveda sometimes can be slightly restrictive. So, a large portion of what we do is Ayurveda inspired, but we do look at the ecosystem outside of that too.
Okay, tell us about your journey of your company and how it came into being, and what are all the things, the challenges that you faced while bringing about the company.
So before Jivisa, I'd like to talk about what I did prior to that. I left IBM Global Services. I was heading part of operations in Mumbai till about 9 years back. And like a whole lot of other people, I was very happy in the corporate environment. Fantastic organization to work with, really great people. And I was really having a good time. Till my brother told me that, come on, I'm building the business. You have the parents with you. Why don't you all of you come back? Home because I'm a single mother. My parents live with me or I live with them, however we want to address that. So I decided to pack my bags in Mumbai, quit the corporate world, and came back to my hometown, Dehradun, 9 years back and joined my brother. We started growing our existing business, which is a creative agency, and grew to a large extent. But somewhere along the line, I think there was this personal need to do something that had my stamp. It was more, more what I wanted to do. And creative was not my cup of tea at all. My brother is very creative, so for him it came naturally. I was handling the business part of it. Wellness came to me very, very naturally, and wellness not just in the shape of products, but I do continue to say that wellness is not unidimensional. It is a lifestyle. It is multi-layered. It comes in various forms. Somehow moving from Mumbai to Dehradun changed something in my mind. It changed the pace of our life. It changed the way I started to look at things, think. It changed the way I was working with my team. And I realized that the stress levels were going down. I realized that I started thinking very differently. I realized that I was giving more and more importance to things that really mattered deeply, and less importance to money and designation. So that entire change in perspective finally resulted in Jivisa. Come pandemic, and we all realized how much we needed to look within, look at our We look after ourselves from our health to our mental well-being to everything around that. So Jivisa is a COVID baby. I can, happily call it that. About 4.5 years back, we decided that we're going to launch it. My first product was a Kara. It still gets served in Vistara's business class and in Indigo. But gradually we started building more product, trying to get deeper into it. And the more I got into it, the more passionately I started feeling about it. So today we do a lot of aroma, we do a lot of tea blends, which are completely natural, and it's a natural alternative to something else. So, there is something to make you sleep, there is something to calm you down, there is something to activate you in the morning. We do a whole lot of skin and hair products, and we do a lot of candles and soaps and all of that, and we're still building it. So that's been our journey at Jivisa.
Great, wonderful. It sounds a lot exciting to me. So you have a whole range of alternate products that can replace the toxic chemicals that we do on a daily basis, is what I'm presuming.
Yes, our brand promise, Venkat, is that anything that I cannot give to my parents or my children, I will never take it to the market. And that's a brand promise that my team and I stand by very, very strongly.
Okay, and how do you go about scaling your business? How do you do your marketing and sales? What are the avenues in which you reach out to the customers, etc.?
Sure. So we've been doing a lot of B2B because we are a bootstrapped company. I've not picked funds yet. Burning a lot of marketing money was not an option for us, which meant that I had to personally go meet people, meet a whole lot of hotels, a whole lot of corporate, etc., to say, why don't you try our products? So far, we are almost 94% B2B, very little B2C. We did onboard ourselves on Amazon about 2 years back and started to very gradually expand that. I am now at a stage 4.5 years later that I am contemplating picking some funds. We will be doing a friends and family round very soon. And with that, we will be infusing funds in the e-commerce marketplaces. So the strategy is to first go e-commerce and then start performance marketing as phase three. We've just started our first store at Western Rishikesh, which is a 5 star, and they were very happy to partner with us. So that was a great opportunity. And from here on, scaling will depend on, it now becomes a function of how much money we infuse. So the idea is to pick some money as a friends and family round and then infuse it in the online space.
So, what is your motivation for going to B2C right now?
Um, Two things. One, like I said, that in the last 4.5 years, 100% of the business that we have done is personally, I have gone, met people, met organizations, and converted it. As satisfying as it also is as slow or as fast as the founder. So if for some reason I'm not able to pay attention to sales, it'll not grow. So scaling becomes very, very difficult because the entire pressure of sales then lies on you, as well as pressure of infusing money as funds, which after some time is not, I mean, it's not the right strategy to grow business. You'll not be able to grow it because you will tire down sometimes, and you do need a larger team. D2C gives you that scale. If I'm able to onboard myself, I can do it on 10 marketplaces or e-commerce platforms, and then it becomes a function of marketing. So it's not person dependent, it is team dependent, and it is of course a function of money. So scale, if I have to scale, I have to go to the D2C way, otherwise it'll become like a family business.
Interesting. Just a quick, curious question. Sorry for.
Hmm.
Why do you think you can't build a team that can do B2B?
No, I can. I completely can. So there are two things to it, Venkat. One, there is an opportunity sitting there. Why should, in a B2B space, for example, when I'm supplying to a hotel and you will get shampoos and face washes and everything in a hotel, almost becomes a B2B2C kind of model, right? The customer is not coming to me directly, they're coming to me via somewhere else. They also want to finally try the retail. The other thing is that a B2B is never a high margin business. It's a volumes game. You'll really have to, for you to get high margins and get profitability, you have to look at the retail space, not the institutional space. So of course, one is, the profitability, and you have to work equally hard on both. It's not as if one is any easier than the other. It's just a different strategy. Also, you as you grow, you want to spread your risk. You don't want to kind of put all your eggs in one basket. B2B is very contract based. Once you sign a contract, you've signed it for a year, but once it goes, it also goes away, right? Whereas a D2C or a B2C is every consumer to his own. The money churns very differently. In a B2B, sometimes you may not get your payments for 3 months, 4 months, whatever. The contract gets signed and there is a payment cycle, there are delays. Whereas in D2C, it is literally 24 hours. It's less than 24 hours that the money is back, in your bank. So I think a blend of both, if your brand is capable of that, is a better strategy. Also, a better penetration strategy. I mean, to reach larger clientele.
Wonderful. Sorry for concentrating too much on the business side, but
Not at all. Not at all.
so what are your future plans for the company and where do you want to take it? Of course, you are going to go to B2C, and is there any other vision or plan that you have?
So I'm a very people's person, Venkat. And like I said, we are also an all women organization. We work very closely with marginalized women of the Himalayan region, but otherwise also the entire team is women across strata, across experiences, etc. So while a lot of people, a lot of leaders may say that their vision is to take it 10x, 20x, my vision very, very clearly is that I want my people to grow. I want them to grow with the organization. I want them to become like successful leaders. And for that to happen, I will have to push the company like ahead. So the first step towards that is we are picking some funds, taking it to the next level. We've just added about 5 new marketplaces. There are another 10 in the pipeline within this quarter, and then we'll keep expanding. At some place, we want to get into the spa business because that's a natural extension of what we are doing. Create like an all women safe space spas for our clientele. And then, of course, keep growing, take it outside of country, and let's see where we land.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all the details. Now let's talk about yourself. What
Sure.
do you do apart from work? What are your hobbies and interests, and what motivates you?
So firstly, I am of the belief that if you like what you do, then you don't have like two lives, that this is my work life and this is my personal life. It's a blend. For me, it is definitely a blend. I'm very passionate about building Jivisa. I'm generally also passionate about wellness per se. I practice yoga. I believe in really deep meaning conversations, and I think it's a very important aspect of well-being. I believe in deep rooted relationships. I strike conversations, and if I can, get something out of it, it's like a real high for me. And all of that, by the way, also translates to work. So if I have to look at my life, I think it is a blend of all of that, and it reflects in my personal life and it reflects in my professional life. Like I said, moving to Dehradun changed a lot of things in your mind. I do like the outdoors. I like to go for a trek every once in a while. I'll take my car and drive off, solo for a few days and, spend a lot of time alone. But other than that, I'm surrounded by a lot of people that love me and I love them back, family, friends, partner, etc. And I think I spend a lot of time and emotion and energy on that. So I think life is a mix of all of these, pillars, verticals, balls, whatever you want to call it. And as far as you are investing a little bit in all of them, it's a very satisfactory life.
Okay, wonderful. You mentioned about deep conversations. What are the topics in which you have the deep conversations?
I think mostly I get attracted to anything life, Venkat. And anything life is a lot of relationships. It is a lot of curiosity and learning, and it is a lot of passion. I think by and large, I get driven to these two, three pillars. I'm not religious, but I think I'm spiritual, realizing that about myself. So anything which is psychological, philosophical in nature finally translates to a live conversation attracts me big time. Even if I'm in a business conclave, I'll probably talk business for the first 15-20 minutes, and somehow the conversation will take a different turn. So I think that is the space which pulls me towards it, invariably.
Okay. Do you believe in afterlife?
No, no, I don't believe in afterlife. I'm a cynic in a lot of ways. I'm agnostic, I'm non-religious. I do not believe in afterlife. I do believe in some kind of energy in today and now. I believe in deep relationships. I believe in authenticity. So I believe in a lot of things that are happening right in front of me, and you can see it and feel it. But a lot of unanswered questions, I'm not sure I'm a believer of that.
Interesting. Okay, great. So let's shift gears and talk about some societal issues, of course, apart from
Sure.
what you are actively working on and your company builds and all that. Is there any societal issue that bothers you and you want to do something about it?
So the very fact that I'm building an all-women organization, the base of this, Venkat, is that one, I'm a single woman, a single mother, but by virtue of that, a lot of women would reach out to me to speak, and I've been a coach for some time. I was also training some retreats and trainings for women. That told me the kind of problems that women go through by and large, and the deeper I got into it, the more I realized that it is agnostic to the economic strata of women. Initially when we built Jivisa, we thought we'll work with marginalized women, but a lot of my own ex colleagues would reach out to say, look, I've had a 10-year sabbatical, I've not been trained, would you consider taking me in? So this is something which is very, very close to my heart. I do feel if you are financially independent, you do control your life way more than if you're dependent. You can make your own choices, and I'm not saying that life will always be unfair. Maybe you're having a great comfortable life, and I hope life throws all the goodness at you, but it just helps you prepare better. So that is something that you know I'm very passionate about, and a lot of women, young and old, any age, I continue to tell them, let's get back to work. Let's get you financially independent. Why don't you, think about doing something with your life? And I'm not taking away from women who do not work. Um, I think they have a larger role to play, a much larger role to play, and it is not given its due. But I do feel that stepping out changes something in your mind. It changes the way you look at yourself. It changes the way you will handle the family. It changes the way you handle the kids. You grow them and you groom them. So that's something that I work on very, very closely. And I'm continuing to build the brand around that too.
So, do you talk about the financial education and the financial literacy to the people that work with you?
We do. We do talk about financial literacy and education. But prior to that, I speak about being financially independent. Once you get independent, some of the literacy and education also happens automatically. And I can be doing that too. I mean, literally, I have a young girl who works at my house help. She's all of 18 or 19, and I was talking to her and I asked her, she was telling me something about her family and how her brother eloped and he's come back and all of that. And I told her that, look, Chandni, whatever happens, you will never leave working, okay? And she's working in a house, so it's literally that strata that I'm talking about. But I do feel that once you get there, part of your literacy is, I mean, education has already happened, right? You will know how to deal with money. You will know how to kind of, save and use and whatever. So the first step in my mind is to first get independent. And once you do that, some kind of financial literacy will also happen.
Yep, that sounds good. Great. We are coming to the conclusion of the podcast. I would like to ask if you have any questions for me.
No, I think the one thing I would love to ask is how did you decide to start the podcast? And I'll tell you where I come from. Like I said, I'm a big believer of conversation. So you must be meeting a whole lot of very interesting people through the podcast. How did this come around, and what has been one of the most fascinating, moments for you?
I think the answer lies in your question. Because of the fact that I'm meeting the people, I'm having those interesting conversations. And
Right.
so it all started as I wanted to have a channel for my author side to discuss my books and my
Hmm.
stories. And then I felt that I should not be boring just talking about my work. I should also talk about
Hmm.
give the chance to for people to come and express themselves and tell their stories and
Hmm.
have conversation about their lives and so on. So this is how it
Mm.
started, and one of my friends gave a lot of contacts. We almost did 20, 25 podcasts just with her friends.
Oh,
And
nice.
after that, I got into LinkedIn, and I had a huge follower base in LinkedIn, and I found some very interesting people to have conversations with. So that's how it is going. And we'll be
Right.
doing 50 episodes by the end of this year.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. And it has been going well, and it is fascinating. And thanks to all of the guests who have been in the podcast so far. And I have been hearing very good feedback from the guests as well as the audience who are listening to the podcast. But of course, the podcast has
Right.
to grow more so that
Right.
more people can listen to it. So I'm in the process of
Right.
working towards that. So that's how it is going.
Wish you all the very best for growing the episodes and getting more and more interesting people to the conversation and having a lot of learning for everybody listening.
Thank you so much. And I wish you too all the best for your company, the work you're doing, and whatever you'd like to pursue in your life. Thanks a lot for spending time in the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was a great podcast with Sarika Panchhi. Please subscribe to this channel and follow it for more awesome podcasts. Opinions expressed by the guests in this podcast are their own. The host or the sponsors of the podcast do not condone the opinions expressed by the guests or the actions arising out of those opinions. Any decisions or actions that the listeners might take as a result of listening to this podcast must be based on their own judgment and will be at their own risk. The podcast host or their sponsors will not be held responsible for the consequences of any actions and or decisions taken as a result of any content in this podcast.